What's happening, Wisdom Warriors? Back at it for another video. Yeah. What's happening? Are you all ready for today's Sunday sermon? We got a lot to talk about, y'all. And I didn't get to go walk in nature before dropping this video because a lot of downloads I receive happen when out in nature and, just walking in nature by myself with no technology. Speaking of technology, I have nothing against it. It helps us to communicate. Thankfully, if we didn't have technology and we didn't have the internet, I wouldn't be able to be here reaching all of you and potentially reaching thousands more and millions more. And so I am very thankful for it. At the same time, I'm starting to realize that a lot of it has to do with balance and not overdoing and learning how to balance all areas of our life. Whether it's, the way we eat, whether it's going to the gym too much, porn too much, sex too much, just overdoing. And I'm starting to realize that, it all does start with not only, because there's many parts. There's the chakras, and if you're not familiar with that, we have the crown up here and the third eye and then the throat and then the heart and then the solar plexus and the sacral and the root. And there's even more than that. And I'll go into those at some other video. But today is the sermon. And I just want to get into a little bit of this because this is kind of important as we move forward. Watching how you approach life. And a lot of it also has to do with the balancing of the masculine and the feminine. And I realized everyone who I was around and who I surrounded with did not have balance. They either overdid exercise, overdid people pleasing, overdid pleasures, overdid or underdid taking care of themselves and loving themselves and compassion towards themselves. So it was like, I've spoke about this on many other videos, and a lot of us, we can be way too far on the right or way too far on the left, not right in the middle or hovering in the middle. And that's where you want to be in all aspects of your life, whether it be romance, finances, health, wellness, spirituality. Because see, if you're too far to the left and you're underdoing certain aspects of your life, like you're underdoing how you take care of your health, right? You're not overdoing, but you're underdoing. Your health is going to be lacking. But then you're giving too much to your financial side or your romantic side. You're overdoing the romantic part of things, or you're overdoing how many times you have sex or how much you're intimate with partners or just one partner. Whatever you desire is your choice. And there's no judgment here on this channel. But I urge you to take a look and start journaling. What areas in your life are you underdoing or overdoing? Because I started to realize that how, looking back now and having the opportunity to reflect on the past things that I've done, I realized that in relationships that I was in, I was overdoing the health and fitness, being at the gym 7 days a week, over 3 hours a day. I became addicted to it. And then to find out that not only was I doing that, but then then I was starting to get into dating, and I wasn't giving enough into dating. So the relationships I was in, they would tell me, hey, like, you spend more time at the gym than you do with me. You're even there on Sundays. And they would call me on a Sunday or text me and, what are you doing? What are you up to? Oh, I'm at the gym, you know? And I found myself, you know, I didn't realize it until now when I can actually zoom out and see it all. And then to realize, wow, okay, like I was putting too much into my family, or not enough, or too much into the gym and not enough into romantic relationships or friendships. I wasn't blossoming the friendships, or I was lacking in my financial side, my career, where I wanted to go in life, or to myself. I wasn't giving enough to myself. I wasn't loving myself enough. I seeked vices in the external. I seeked addictions. I seeked shopping. I seeked porn. I seeked objectifying women and looking at them as objects and just for one thing and one reason. And it's sad because women look at men that do that in a bad way, but in actuality, they're just not at that place of love and compassion towards themselves. You know, and I was there. I was one of those guys that looked to just get one off, like use a woman to help me get off, and that was it. And then I didn't want to talk to him until the next time I wanted that, and it hurt me deeply because I didn't understand. I didn't know a way out. I didn't know where to even start to begin to even meditate at that time. I didn't know. I heard about meditation, but I didn't know really what it was. Like, oh, people said to just close your eyes and breathe. I don't know what the hell you do. Like, I don't understand it. And, you know, I was so trapped in that hamster wheel of like pornography and sex and getting laid and, or just getting my pleasures, the pleasures that I wanted, that quick instant gratification in every aspect of my life. I wanted it with fitness. I wanted it with women. I wanted it with food. I was addicted to sweets. I was addicted to drinking. I mean, you name it, I've experienced it. And I've been up and down those roads of losing tons of weight, gaining tons of weight. I mean, I've been through it all. Okay. And I now look at a woman or a female as an equal, you know, versus what I looked at them before as a sexual object that was just going to provide me with instant gratification, and didn't realize that the instant gratification does not serve your future self. It only serves you in the present, and it's actually not healthy to continuously seek that, because it shows that you're lacking the love within yourself and the compassion for yourself. And it's been a long road, man, to get to even just to this place that I'm at right now currently. And I don't mean the physical. I just mean spiritually. I mean mentally. I mean physically. I mean to realize who I am as a person, what I want and what I don't want, and what I look for and what I seek. And it's been a really rocky road and a roller coaster ride like this, like massive dips and massive, mountainous terrain, and then massive dips. And yet, to be honest with you, I it's not that that I can't forgive that version of myself or that past self of mine, because I do. I completely do, because I realize now that he only knew what he knew at the time. And I was meant to experience that. I was meant to go through that. I also realized that, and I got many downloads upon this, that I chose to come in this life to incarnate in a family that had codependency and had a lot of fear and had a lot of, like I said, codependency and attachment to the physical, because I was meant to break free of that. I was meant to be the one in my family to break those ancestral and generational curses slash patterns slash trauma slash all of it. And if I wouldn't have experienced all of the things I've experienced, and yet, yes, I've hurt people along the way, and I'm not going to sugarcoat that and say I didn't, because I did. And I know I did with women. And I know I did with somebody that I really cared about, the last one I was dating. I know I really hurt her. We had the most deepest connection romantically, mentally, just all around. The most deepest connection I probably had in a relationship. It was very short-lived because I realized that my higher self and the universe had to rip that from me at the time. I realized that she came to break me open, and then for me to lead back on that spiritual path that I wasn't on for majority of my life. But I realized that I had to go through all of that to get me to this place, to be able to be on the other side and to bring this knowledge and experience to all of you, and to share that you can overcome these things in life. A lot of it takes patience and discipline, but mostly patience, because a lot of us want to fast track everything. And a lot of us have fast tracked through the challenges we've gone through, because these challenges that we go through, some of us chose really tumultuous challenges to fast track or to level up our soul at a rapid pace. And so I'm one of those people, and my father was one of those people. And, I look back at it now, and it has been very hard for me to see the bigger picture and understand what I was going through in the moment. But I'm starting to understand it now in a bigger, more profound way. And it's opened my eyes to so many things, and so many things are starting to open up now. As we move forward, I'm seeing more and more doors opening and messages coming through that Spirit wants me to see. And like I talked about the dreams I've been having with my father, and where he wasn't present in the dream physically, but I could feel his energy and I knew he was there. Until the last day last week, where he was there physically in the dream, and that he was bringing me a message to show me that he's all around, he's here, he's with me all the time, and to never forget that. And that I can ask him anytime I want and anytime I wish for his help and guidance. And that he's here protecting me and guiding me, along with all my other angels and spirit guides and past grandparents and relatives who have passed away. They're all here. They're all with me. They're guiding me and protecting me every step of the way, as well as you guys. We all have a team in the spiritual realm, animals, humans alike, and they're all protecting and guiding us in certain ways. But our higher self, which is us essentially, knows everything and plans some of these situations out for us to grow and learn and evolve and level up. And when you start to look at it from a perspective of, it's not happening to me, it's happening for me and by me, you begin to show up and view those situations with a different perspective. and it begins to take a whole nother level of life onto itself. You begin to understand it completely different. You begin to realize that life is not happening to me, it's happening for me and by me to help me to grow, to help me to evolve, to help me to level up. And for me to understand that, that it's not for me to look at it from a victim mentality or to, you know, to see it in from a victimized way, because I led that life for a very, very long time where I looked at life like everything, like, you're doing this to me. Like, why is this happening to me? This is not fair. I don't understand. Why is this happening to me again? Why does this keep happening to me? I don't understand. And be crying out to the universe, like as if the universe was trying to hurt me. When in actuality, the universe was just breaking me open and also breaking out these feelings and emotions and things that I needed to heal, and showing it to the light. And this is what has been happening, but yet we don't see that. We just view it as pain, and that we're a victim, and that I'm being mistreated, and this is not fair. Why do I see other people like they have it all together and I don't? But at the same time, you don't know what they're physically, mentally, or spiritually going through, or what happens behind closed doors. We don't know that, and yet we judge or compare ourselves to others and where they're at. And when everybody is on a totally different journey, everybody signed up for different things. We all came here and incarnated for different reasons, and our paths and journeys are completely different, every single one of us. And that's what makes us all unique and different. And to take social media and all these things out of the equation, which were created to create us to judge each other and separate and divide all of us, but yet it still plays a role regardless, because it always has a reason to show. It always shows us something in ourselves and gives us a mirror to see what we need to look at within ourselves. This individual romantically came in my life to help me tear down my walls that I wasn't going to possibly tear down on my own. So they came in to break me open and bring down the walls, or bring out sides of me that I was hiding, and those are a lot of reasons why certain people come in. There's a lesson, they're a teacher, they're here to teach you something, and you're there to teach them something, and it doesn't matter what the situation is. There's always a message in something, if you look at it that way. But if you look at it like, I'm a victim and this is happening to me and this is not fair, and how come other people are able to be with their partner for 50, 60 years and they have the same partner, and how come I didn't? How come I lost mine at a younger age? How come I didn't get to grow old like I wanted to with that person? How come I didn't experience this or that in my life? Like, all these things are you trying to control the outcome. You're trying to control your life, your surroundings, your experience, when to be honest with you, a lot of it we don't have control. A lot of it is controlled by a higher power and a higher being. And I thought about this from a deeper level. I thought of it as, could you imagine if we really, because everybody in the spiritual world and the spiritual realm and just in general continuously speak about the fact that we have free will and freedom of choice. But let me just say this. Could you imagine if every one of us had full on control and there was no spirits or guides or team of angels, helping and guiding us and nudging us and, bringing different people in and out of our lives. And, could you imagine? You think it's chaotic now. I mean, could you imagine how much more chaotic it would be if we really did have full on control? And so you have to realize that we do, but we don't. And God, the divine source, whatever you want to call it, because I don't know what your religion is, I don't know what you believe in, and that's not for me to say or judge or tell you, but whatever you believe in, if you believe in anything at all, there is something else at play, something way bigger than we can even imagine, okay, at play. And so you have to realize that we have to surrender, we have to let go, and release the control. We have to ease up and say, okay, I throw up my hands, I surrender, I let go. I am not going to try to control my finances or try to control the outcome of this relationship or the outcome of this career or whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter. Whatever you're going through, try and surrender and let go and see how life changes. See, it's not an easy practice. Let me just say that. I've had to do it over and over and over again. And the universe and my guides and my angels keep telling me, you have to surrender, you have to let go, you have to stop trying to control everything, because that's where the pain lies. When you try to grip on so tight to every situation in your life, like I tried to do with the death of my father, I thought that I could control and stop. It played out in my head over and over again how if only I was in that room and wouldn't have walked out a few minutes later, the outcome that came about wouldn't have happened. But yet that's my ego, and that's me trying to control everything in my in my world, versus like I have to let go of this. Like I didn't have control. If I did, he probably would have still been here. But so with that being said, man, I feel like that is what needed to come through. And I feel like somebody needed to hear this, like to let go of control in every aspect of your life and how you're going to find this partner and what the outcome is going to be with this partner. And like, oh, I want to get married. I want kids. I want it all to be in this time frame. I want to have these kids and during this age range. You see, that is the problem that lies. That is why so many women have difficulty getting pregnant, because they're trying to control the outcome instead of just stepping back, letting go, surrendering, giving it up to God or source or divine or whatever you call it, giving it up to whatever is meant to happen will happen, versus trying to say, I got to have it by this age because otherwise I have to freeze my eggs. Otherwise, I'm going to be too old to have a kid. Why not just let go and surrender? Take your hands off the wheel and just let it happen the way it's meant to happen. Fucking A, because then you won't be so stressed out, which is then preventing you from having that kid that you want so deeply. Because you're creating so much stress in your body to prevent it from happening. Versus like letting go, pulling your hands off the wheel, letting go of that attachment, that grip, that tight grip that is causing you so much distress within, right? You wouldn't have as much pain and suffering if you let go and you take your hands off the fucking wheel. So I hope somebody needed this message. I know somebody needed this message. And you don't have to look at it as, oh, you want to have a kid. Look at it as the overall picture, as, hey, man, maybe I need to throw up my hands. Maybe I need to let go of trying to figure out every situation and every outcome and where I'm going to be in 10 years and how I'm going to get there. And not to say that you don't need goals and plan things. But there comes a point where you just have to just say, well, I want this. I would love to have this type of life, and just let go and throw up your hands and just let it happen the way it's meant to happen. And it's going to unfold the way it's going to unfold. And it's probably going to be way better than you could even ever imagined, because that's the way it always is. Okay? I love you all so much. I hope you got something out of this, because I'm telling you, man, there was a divine message that was pumping through me. And every single word that came through was not from me. It came from a higher power at play. I love you all so much. I forgot to pull a card. Let's pull a card for the collective and for whoever's watching from this beautiful deck, which, mind you, I'm not sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form. So just know that. But let's see what we got here. Again, I'm learning. I don't fully know everything about it, these decks and these cards, but I'm learning. And I can tell you this, I will be doing a practice where I'm going to sit with the cards and just look at them and, hold them and look at each one and just see what comes through, so I can start building a deeper connection to the deck. And while I'm taking this class, but let's see what does Spirit have for whoever's watching now and in the future. What message does Spirit have for somebody watching now or in the future? Give me one card, Spirit, for the collective, for whoever's listening and watching this video now and in the future. We got a whole slew that wanted to come out, but that's not going to work. So we're just looking for one card, Spirit. And since this one kind of didn't even want to go into the deck, so we'll venture to say that this is what came through. What a beautiful card, man. The Four of Cups. That is such a such gorgeous artwork, man. Look at the tree. I look at it as like a tree of life, and the cup is like floating above it, and it's just pure magic and beauty. And again, I'm learning just like you guys are. And but yeah, here's the card we pulled. I hope somebody got something from that message, whoever needed it. It came through for you. And so with that being said, we're going to end the video now. I hope you enjoyed today's Sunday sermon. This is going to be a weekly thing, every Sunday until further notice. I hope you got something out of this message that I was called to bring. I love you all so much. From my heart to yours. Let's continue to hold love and compassion and empathy for ourselves and for all of humanity. And just come from a place of love and compassion for yourself and everyone, man. And just take your hands off the wheel, man, and let go. You will see peace come in, like fill you up inside, and you will feel less of that anxiety and stress and pressure. And just let go, man. Just let go and ease up the control. And maybe you have to do it little by little. Anyways, hope you got something out of this. If you haven't already, please subscribe, please share, please comment, please like. I appreciate everything you do, and every comment you make, and every tapping that love button, that like button is helping so many others. And you don't even realize, by you consuming what I'm giving you, by you tapping that like button and commenting and subscribing, you're giving out back. So you're then giving and receiving, which is balance, which is what we all need to have, that balance of being able to give and receive. I hope you got something out of this. I love you all so much. Take care. Happy Sunday. Hope you enjoyed Sunday sermon. We'll see you soon. Let's go, Wisdom Warriors. We got this.